We'll call to order Board of Adjustments meeting for December 27th, 2023. We'll do a roll call of members. Everybody's here, Ms. Jamaica, except Devin Graham. Can you please note that? Next up, we open it up for public comment. Anybody have any public comments for or against the Board of Adjustments? Nobody signed up. We'll close the public comments. Next, I'll entertain a motion for the acceptance of the minutes from the November 29th Board of Adjustments meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Motion by Mr. Willie,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Bryan. All in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes. Next, I'll entertain a motion for acceptance of the written decisions for the November 29th, 2023 meeting.
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Eddie,
Second that.
second by Mr. Jake. All in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes.
I was letting y'all do it since I'm here.
All right, first up tonight on the, we have a public hearing to consider the following variant zoning zoning review ID PZ-3300.23. Lot A, re-subdivision for unnamed lots for Jameson Door. Anybody here to speak on that tonight? You missed the door? All right, would you step up to the mic and tell us tell us a little bit about your variance and what you're requesting, please?
A variance is actually to build a shop and get it closer to the property line because I'm limited on space through parish guidelines. So I'm actually just trying to make it where I can put it in place to actually build my house.
So that was my question. You have in your letter, you said this is to build with clearance for the future home?
Yes.
Okay, so where's, I guess, I'm assuming the home, based off of this map, is gonna go,
Well, if you actually look at the road's gonna turn into a driveway, and it's gonna be right there. The actual shop is gonna be about 5 to 6 feet away from the edge of the garage of the house. So it's gonna be on the end of the driveway, is gonna be where the shop starts.
And the home sits in front of that shop? Or the
Yes,
side of it?
it'll be all the way in front.
All the way in front?
It'd be on the side of it, but it'll be all the way in front.
what about the existing two structures that are there?
Currently, there's only one structure still there. The others were trailers. Those have been removed. The structure that's there now has a cracked slab where it is not livable. So it's actually currently in my storage until I can build my shop to move all my stuff into the shop. We used to live in Prairieville. We moved out there, and I'm limited on space.
10th floor, cool.
Any other questions, comments for Mr. Dore? Dore or Dore?
Dore, like the
Dore?
musical notes.
I did have a question. So like the map that you provided has like two blue lines, two blue boxes. Is this, does he own the property as well?
Yeah, they
That's to
went
the-
through, we don't have it updated, but that property, he's revoked that right away going through there, and now it's just one property. And you can see that on the map, one of the plats that is, more recent.
About
shows
6
that-
or 7 months ago, we purchased the right-of-way back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the map right before the aerial.
And so the home's gonna sit, you said 5 feet in front of.
5 feet in front of the shop is gonna be the edge of the garage.
Okay.
And then the garage is gonna go, I think it's like 40 feet, but it's also gonna be part of the house. So the house is actually gonna sit 80 feet from the back property line. And the shop's only 60, so the front of the shop is gonna be 65 feet, is my request.
You want to put it up on the
Yeah, that'd be
overhead?
cool. Yep.
Ms. Jamaica, can you help him put it on the overhead, please, so we can figure this out a little better? I'm confused.
Yeah, and it's here.
Uh-huh.
There you go. Right there, yeah.
But it looks like these two are
Now
together.
it's all together. See? That's the more updated one. Yeah. Yeah, that's the way I'm seeing it.
So that trailer, you said on that trailer was moved,
Yes, they have been moved, since,
and that's on the very front of the lot, it shows on the picture?
that's on the side property. It's,
Let's let him put it up there and he can.
Yeah.
maybe better explain.
Yeah, everything's been removed except for the home. The
home
bigger
to the
structure
right,
that's
huh?
on the right-hand side. Yeah.
There we go.
Everything on the left-hand side has been removed.
Everything on left's been removed,
All right.
demolished, I guess. Yeah, why wouldn't you put the house a little further up front if all it's removed?
Probably because the house is there.
So where the old where the house is, where it says 492,
We don't,
400,
hold on, we don't see.
Hold on one
anything.
second, we don't have it yet.
There we go, all right.
so where the house, where it says 492, 400, that
Okay.
is where the new house is gonna be built. That's the, house that's currently, the slab is cracked,
Okay,
where we're gonna tear it down. Like I said, right, currently it's my it's, my storage building. Until I can get this shop built where that square is, it's gonna, that property line back there, the course, is 5 foot off of that line, and then 5 foot off this sideline. Is the request, because I'm limited on space, because I originally was gonna build it further up here on the property, but I was told I could not do it because of utility right-of-way and, other road right-of-ways and all that. So I have had to move it to the back of the property where there's enough space where I don't have to worry about utilities and all that other stuff.
okay.
Where was this utility line?
He has a 12-foot utility servitude running along the road. And if he moved it up, he revoked it once he created those lots or combined the lots to the back. But those servitudes remained on the further up of the property.
It's
and that's where
almost
done.
next to impossible to revoke a
Yes.
utility servitude,
Correct.
even if there's not, if it hadn't been used in 100 years, they won't give, they don't like giving it up.
I've already have Energy move the power line. It's already been
But
moved.
they still won't revoke the servitude.
If I'd have to go more into, I'd have to get the gas, the water, all that
Yeah.
done. And the downside about this is that street that's going down there, we can't prove that it was taken, and we can't prove that it was given.
Uh-huh.
This was originally a dirt road until somebody said, okay, we're gonna pave it. This was, I think in the late 80s, it was paved. And nobody knows who told them they could and all that.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Jake,
My only question is where that current house where you're storing it with the broke slab, are you able to push that house further up when you build to give you the room you need? Or is there a reason we're pushing everything back to the corner like that?
That's my new house that I'm gonna build is gonna be right there where that is at. It is gonna be 2,800 living square foot house. So it's gonna be roughly 4,400 under roof. And it's gonna be, we're trying to make it where when you look down the street, you see the garage, not the shop. So the shop can be off to the side. My wife's gonna have an office above the garage, and she wants to look down the street while she's in her office, working from home. So it's actually gonna be, I think we have it 45, almost 50 feet from the other property line is where the house is gonna be, over. And then it's gonna go where, we're actually gonna have the old street, we're actually gonna have to bust up because part of the house is gonna be on that, where that street was that we purchased back from the parish.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand the hardship. So you're trying to say it cannot be moved to where you don't
Where
need this
we put the
variance?
house in the middle of the property,
Yeah,
where we can still have a little bit of a yard, it ain't gonna be much.
Yeah.
But the problem is we've already smoothed out this property right here to build the shop. But we can't because of the servitude and the utility, right? Even though you can have a shop there with no energy, they can come by and put a pole right next to your building. So I'm trying to get a permit, get all this stuff done, so when it comes time to build our house, hopefully next year, a lot of this will already be worked out and straightened, so we won't have to do this again.
gotcha.
we're looking at it on the back
Right.
side of your property here. Is that sugarcane fields, a big ditch or something, a headland?
There is a ditch there, yes.
Looks like, is there a headland right there? It looks like the grass is mowed. Is
There-
that sugarcane field back
The
there?
sugarcane field. I'm surrounded by 2,000 acres of sugarcane.
Okay, all right.
There's a road there. There's a ditch, then a road. And
Okay,
what you're
yeah.
seeing is a road.
Okay. Yep, okay. Road that they use for
all the-
harvesting of
yeah.
cane and whatnot, okay.
So how far, I mean, how close is everything gonna be, your building to that ditch that's run along the backside?
Roughly, it's gonna be roughly, the property line is on the inside of the ditch. So from the edge of the ditch, it'd be, if you go from the middle of the ditch, it'd be almost 10 foot from the middle of the ditch.
Okay. Is that pretty? That's, yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir.
That,
Yeah,
that ditch, where's that flowing to?
It's just a farm ditch.
Farm ditch?
Yeah, there's no servitude or anything on it, so it's just a farm ditch. The request is for the shed. The home's gonna meet the requirement.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah,
Yep.
so.
Cool.
Usually what we do, yeah.
That Lance, that ditch behind there is public or private?
I'm not sure, it's a farm ditch.
Farm
I know
ditch.
that, so I'm not.
It should,
yeah.
the farmer actually cleans it out every 2 years.
Okay.
So it's a private.
Okay, we have to, open it up for public comment. Ms. Jamaica, anybody signed up?
No one signed up.
Okay, we're gonna close the public comment on this issue. Any more questions? Do we have a motion? I got a question for you. You know, 15 foot on the rear is more than we normally do without a really good reason. I really don't see a really good reason here. Would you be okay with 10 feet on the rear?
Then it's gonna be in front of my garage, blocking my garage.
I mean, is there design changes that you can make to the storage building?
I'd have to shrink the building entirely, and I've been waiting over a year for this now.
For the variance or for your building?
Well, originally, like I said, it was supposed to be up here. We started all the work on it, and then other changes came in, and then by the time I finally got a straight answer that we could not build unless I shrink it so small I can't even use it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the property size, the back setback and the right of way, they cross each other on that little piece of property. So there's nothing can be built on that property no matter what. So I have to move it back there or delete the building altogether.
I know it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was asking if you had any room to move that house to the side. That's why I was questioning, because we usually only do 50%.
Well, the house moving to the side, that's not the issue. The issue is this off the back ditch, correct?
Yeah.
Off the
exactly.
back.
Yeah, you're
So
fine, you're good.
right now, I'm less than 5 foot from the setback for the front. So I would have to actually scoot it forward and then get another variance to build my house closer to the property line. So I have to come back here when I go to build my house sometime next year for another variance to build it closer to the
Because
property
it
line.
would push the house over.
It would push the house further on the front property line. It would be too close to the front property line.
I don't know how much that variance would be as far as for that property. I don't think you'd be running into the issue, to be honest. Yeah.
Yes,
You do have your house plans drawn?
I do. If I could have had my phone in here, I'd show them to you.
No, that's okay. It's just, I think the question would be, I don't know.
We're trying to level with you, but you're going 15 feet from a 20 foot, and so that's kind of where the issue is.
If I
and,
can't
you
put
know,
it there, I can't have my building. And
sorry to
if
hear
I have to do that, I'm moving. And right now, I'm living in one of the houses on the property just to be able to build this house.
that. Gotcha.
So shrinking that building to 50 feet is not an option.
I already got
I'm
it.
sorry, 55 feet.
I put a down payment, building company, everything's waiting over a year now.
So the 55 feet on the shed. would
I have to
be
redesign the whole thing. I don't know what I'd have to do with them and
No.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think think, I mean, I look at the property and where you're at and the sugar cane and everything like that. I mean, I can understand where you're coming from and everything like that. But, yeah, I'll make a motion to accept.
Motion to accept the variance is written by Mr. Brandon Bennett. Second by Mr. Willie Robinson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Your variance has been granted.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Have a happy new year. And next up, we have zoning review ID PZ 3320.23 for Mr. Brent Fisher. Anybody here to represent that? You step up there at the podium, tell us about your variance.
I built this house December of 1999. At the time, I was aware of the 15-foot servitude across the back of the property. Over the years, I've never built a fence there, but my neighbors have. So what happened, or what brought this on, well, let me back up. February of 2021, I purchased a building, a prefab building from, wasn't Tough Shed, but whatever, a Stormore or something like that. And I inquired with the parish about a permit. They said as long as the structure wasn't 200 square feet, that it didn't need a permit. So I built a cross-tie pad, filled it up with crushed concrete, and I set the building on the pad. I was not aware of a 5-foot setback off a fence. It is approximately 1 foot off of the property line where she built her fence. I never had any complaints about anything, but I'd also didn't have a reason to go looking for anything. So in about, I guess it was August or September of this year, I started building another building right next to this one. And she sent me a long diatribe of a text message telling me how it was ruining her view or whatever. She didn't like the way it looked. Well, I had already been 85% complete on this building, and it was 12 by 12, so it was under 200 square feet too, which is the reason I didn't get a permit for it. Then once she come in with this 5-foot setback that I had no idea about, I started looking around the subdivision, and I counted it upwards of 19 properties that are within, that have put structures, some with concrete pads, some permanent buildings, within 5 foot of the property line. So it turned into a war of words with her, and she came and filed a complaint, I think with Mr. Brock. So then I had to go through I came and talked to him. He told me the only course of action I had was to file a variance. So I'm requesting a variance to leave my buildings as they are. One of them, like I said, been there for almost 3 years. If I were to have to move it, I would have to move it approximately 4.5 feet, and it would put it right in the middle of my driveway. The other building, then it would just, it looked like crap, to be honest. And I mean, I know, you know, it's probably not what y'all want to hear. I don't know. It's been a total aggravation for me. And to be honest with you, she's not even here.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask that. Is she? Okay, but he is. Okay.
So,
Yeah,
you know, the person that filed a complaint and raised all of this crap
gotcha.
is not even here to defend it. And at the end of the day, she just didn't like the way my buildings looked. My buildings, now look, my son and I own a business, electrical business. And I'm a veteran, and, you know, I'm registered with the state. It's Veterans First Initiative. And you know, I have enough issues with PTSD and all this other stuff. And, you know, I'm 70% as it is. And, you know, it's been many sleepless nights and anxiety over this crap for the last 2.5 months. And, you know, I want the rules for me, for thee. You know, I want the rules to be everybody. You know, I don't go around messing with nobody. I don't go around raising havoc just because I don't like the way something looks. That's that person's property. And as long as it's, you know, I put $17,000 into both of these buildings. So they're not little shanties or Rubbermaid plastic sheds. You know, they're nice buildings painted with metal roofs. You know, and just because she don't like them, well, she shouldn't have rule or she shouldn't have reign over what I put on my property. I could promise you I wouldn't have never said a thing if she'd have put a building on her property.
Okay, so we're gonna see if we can't get it squared up here for you tonight. Anybody got any questions for the gentleman?
So just to be clear though, so the two structures are there, we're looking at both structures, correct, Lance? So both structures within and so it sounds like one of these structures is within 13 inches of the property line.
That's the
Okay.
one we're looking
And
for.
the other one's right about 13 inches
The other
as
one's
well.
about the
Both of
same.
them about the same.
And so the original structure was put in,
In
you said
February of 21,
21, and now you're adding a new one.
almost, well, it's already there.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
the original
okay.
one was in the 90s.
That's,
huh?
okay, that's what I
97?
was.
No, sir. I've been living there for
home.
24
Oh,
years.
okay,
Okay.
okay, cool. Nope.
And I've never had a problem with anybody until this.
No,
And as a
no, I
matter of
understand.
fact, what
Yep,
really
yep.
sucks is she and I have been friends for 20 years. My son was the ring bearer in her wedding.
We're not here to solve.
I know,
anything.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
We're just
I'm
looking
just-
at this and yeah, totally understand. Okay. I hope it was a nice wedding. But we're here to look at this and what you're requesting and we totally understand and, so yeah, but that was my only question.
But I don't want to, look, also, I don't want to be that guy that has to sit here and tell you about 19 other properties and go out and get you addresses and have to file complaints on them. I don't think that's my job.
No, we usually go right around I have on this one, and I like to see beforehand, the surroundings, you know, and if it blends in with it. And I concur with what you say, there's quite a few around there that look like they.
So you have actually scoped out what
Yeah,
I'm
so
saying,
They
okay.
look like there's quite a few, I didn't count them like you did.
Right, well,
There's quite a few.
I mean, I
there.
got backed into a corner, you know?
And look, there's.
It wasn't my wish to be here tonight. It wasn't my wish to have any of
understand.
this crap go on, because it's just one more thing that I don't need.
Yes. Anybody else got a question for him? Well, I ask you, looks like we have one, but I ask you to have a seat a minute, and we're gonna open it up for public comment.
Yes, sir.
And we may call you back up. So we are opening up for public comment.
Yes, I have Richard Cannon.
Hey, Mr. Cannon, you step up to the mic, you got 3 minutes.
All right, I'm here to represent Lauren. Just want to let you know, the buildings, we're all caught in the middle here, I guess, but the main thing is the buildings. You go out in the backyard, it's just this wall of nonsense, you know? So I know he don't want to move them. I know that. I know this is the big tiff, but it's in a neighborhood like that. When she goes out on the back to sit in where you have get-togethers, there's these two buildings. One of them's, they're not even, it's just ridiculous. Right up on the fence line. She actually had to move her fence in the last time during Ida because she couldn't even do work on her fence. They're right up on the fence. In a neighborhood this small, there's no HOA. So that's really the whole issue. They're right up on the fence. Property values. You know, I mean, there may be 13 other ones like it, but I mean, if we don't enforce the rules, and what else? You know, the problem is you go out in the back and there's just these, this could have been settled, but instead it's Facebook calling names and all this nonsense, you know? So that's what it's turned into. So she was too intimidated to be here, so I just come speak on her behalf. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Any
That's all.
comments, motions?
Is the second building, is it on the slab or is it?
No, same deck.
And they're not, look, I know that there's
You can step back up to the mic. The rule about what?
The rule on height, and I've spoken with Mr. Brock about this.
We're not concerned with that, we're just concerned with the variance at hand.
I understand, but the height is, it's not even near about to the height that it could be. And she just don't like the way the buildings look.
Any more questions, motions?
No, yeah. I can't. I understand where you're at. You know, they've been put and, you know, look at what we have in front of us and we also have rules that are set in place. And it's important that everybody does their due diligence and their homework before they come in. We tell that to many people. You're not the first person who's come through and has had property and put something where it wasn't supposed to go, et cetera, et cetera. So, totally understand that. I think it's unfortunate to hear the dispute that you guys have. But I find it hard to approve this variance within 13 inches. We look at also what the staff, what they recommend and everything like that. And so, I do agree is that it's there, we can wiggle a little bit. So I mean, I'm willing to like approve basically a 2.5 foot variance within your property. But the 13 inches, it's just, man, it's tight. Like that's really tight. So I'll make a motion to approve 2.5 feet variance.
That's half
half.
of normal.
Yep.
I'll second that motion. Hopefully 2.5 feet will help you out.
Yep.
I'm on the same page.
Well,
with
the
you.
problem is the deck is built around the first building, so I'd have to tear all of that out. This is just
Yeah,
ridiculous.
sorry about that.
Well, I mean, now I'm gonna have to file a complaint, and, you know, it's ridiculous. Because, you know, if everybody else can do it, but I can't.
Yep.
That's basically what you
Wait,
guys
wait,
are telling
wait,
me.
Hold on, hold
No,
on,
no, that's
hold
not
on.
what we're saying.
We're in the middle of a vote right
Yeah.
now, so we're not saying you can't do it yet. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Okay. I'm sorry, your variance has been denied, or a 2.5 foot variance has been accepted.
Accepted, yeah. Yep.
All right, next up on the agenda, if I can find my agenda sheet. Next up, okay, Mr. Lance, we got any old business?
No, sir.
Got any new business?
No new business.
All right. I'll entertain
Merry
a
Christmas.
motion.
Merry Christmas.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned by Mr. Bryan. Second by Willie, all in favor? Y'all have a happy new year. Meeting adjourned.